There's one last super important topic when it comes to backups: testing them. The field of IT is littered with tragic tales of IT support specialists and sysadmins attempting to restore data from a backup after a data loss incident, only to discover that their backups are invalid. That's not just embarrassing, it's completely terrifying. The takeaway here is that it isn't sufficient to just set up regular backups. There's only half of the equation. The other half is a recovery process, and that process needs to be tested regularly. Restoration procedures should be documented and accessible so that anyone with the right access can restore operations when needed. You don't want your time off to be interrupted because your colleague back at the office doesn't know how to restore the SQL database from the backup, right? Of course not. So document the procedure and make sure you regularly test the documentation to make sure it works now and in the future. This process is called disaster recovery testing and is critical to ensuring a well-functioning recovery system. Disaster recovery testing should be a regular exercise that happens once a year or so. It should have different teams, including IT support specialists, going through simulations of disaster events. They'll test and evaluate how well prepared or unprepared your organization is for lots of unexpected events. These scenarios can be anything from a simulated natural disaster like an earthquake to a fictional event like a horde of zombies shutting down an office. If that's the case, backups would be the least of your worries, but it's still important. Whatever the scenario, it'll help your IT teams test their emergency procedures and figure out what works and, most importantly, what doesn't. These simulated events are the perfect way to discover any gaps in your planning. If you discover that you aren't protected from data loss in any given scenario, it's an opportunity to learn and fix this gap without risking real data loss. Sounds like a win-win, doesn't it?